Hello my dear students of grade 4. Last time we talked about how to measure the volume of a solid object. We said that I have a regular solid and irregular solid. Last time there was a homework question that there is a problem that I bring for you the length and width and height. So the answer will be that I will multiply the length by width by height. So this will be the answer of your homework question. Today we will study how to measure the volume of a liquid. We studied before how to measure the volume of a solid, if I have a regular solid or irregular solid. Now we will discuss how to measure the volume of a liquid. Now, if I bring some liquid into a graduated cylinder, I bring here some liquid into a graduated cylinder. Like we discussed the previous lesson, I bring some water in the graduated cylinder. Now, how can I measure the volume of this liquid? By looking above like this, or like this, or like this. What is the correct position? The correct position is when I pour some amount of liquid into a graduated cylinder, I record the reading at the lower point of a water surface. What's meant by the lower point of the water surface? Means that if I can see this graduated cylinder, the water, when I pour some water in it, the water will make like a curve, a small curve. So I should look in a horizontal position to my graduated cylinder, like this, in a horizontal position. So this is the correct position. I should not see above or below the water. I should see in a horizontal position to the liquid. So this is the right reading. How can I read the volume of a water, of a liquid? I have liquid in a graduated cylinder. I should not look above or below. I should look in a horizontal position to read the correct reading of the volume of the liquid. So this is how I can measure the volume of a liquid. Now, see with me this note. When a body is submerged in a cylinder full of liquid completely. Now, if I have here a basin, and I have inside the basin, I put a cylinder. And the basin is full of water, and also the cylinder is full of water. And then I put any solid object, I put any solid liquid. When the body is submerged in a cylinder full of liquid, I put any body in this liquid. What will happen? An amount of liquid will spill out from the cylinder. Now, this basin is full of water, and this cylinder is full of water. And then I put a body. Some water will spill out. So the volume, what is the volume of this body? The volume of this body equals the volume of the spilled water. The water that comes out from the cylinder. Again, now, if I have, when the body is submerged, put in a cylinder full of water. I have a basin full of water and a cylinder full of water. And I came and put a body, solid object, any body I put, some water will come out. So what is the volume of this body? The volume of this body equals the volume of spilled water, means the water that came outside from the cylinder. This is a very important note. Now, I have another note. Equal volume of different materials have different masses. What's meant by this? Now, if I put inside this band balance, if I put the same volume of iron and wood, I have here iron and wood. They are the same volume. They have the same volume, but they are different in masses. So equal volume of different material. I have different material. I have here iron and I have here a piece of wood. So they will have a different masses. Of course, the iron is much heavier than the wood. So if they have the same volume, but they are different materials. Different materials. They are what? Different materials. So they will have different masses, but equal volume of same material. Means if I bring the same volume, both are iron or both are wood, the same volume with the same mass, they will both have the same mass. Means if I have here the balance, the common balance, and I put the same volume for the same material, both I put here inside wood, they will have the same masses. So I will again repeat the three notes. Number one, the first note, when the body is submerged, when I put a piece of body, any body, in a container full of water, some water will come out. This water that come out equal the volume of this solid object or this body. So the volume of the body equals the volume of the spilled water. Now, if I have here if I have band balance and I bring the same volume, but for different materials. One material is iron and one material is wood, they will be different in masses. But if I bring the same volume for the same material, they will have the same masses. Okay? Now, you cannot use water to measure the volume of a piece of sugar. We said that we should measure the sugar is what? The sugar is soluble in water. So if I put here in the graduated cylinder a piece of sugar, I cannot measure its volume because the sugar is soluble in water. It dissolves in water. So I cannot measure its volume. So you cannot use water to measure the volume of a piece of sugar. Why? Here a give reason question might come. Why? Because sugar is soluble in water. It can dissolve in water. Now, I will ask you a question. You can use dots to measure the volume of a liquid. I use what to measure the volume of a liquid? I use the graduated cylinder. I use the graduated cylinder to measure the volume of a liquid. How can I measure the volume? By looking horizontal to the graduated cylinder. So I can bring the accurate volume for this liquid. Now this is your homework question. You cannot use water to measure the volume of a piece of sugar. Why? I cannot use the water to measure the volume of a piece of sugar. Why? When I put here a piece of sugar, I cannot measure its volume. Why? Because sugar is what? I will let you answer this question and answer with you the next time. Thank you for listening.